There's one additional thing that is happening over in the Gulf that is a little bit of a rumor, but I'm going to share it with you here today.
JJ Cruise.
Hey everyone, what's up? This is Jordan with JJ Cruise. Thank you so much for clicking into the video today. Well, today we are talking about the mystery cruise line that is going to take place over Princess over at the port of Galveston. Now, there are 4 cruise lines that I think this could be, but I think there's a clear front runner as to what new cruise line Galveston is about to get over in its port. Before I get into it, I do just want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. This is JJ Cruise. We talk all things cruising all year long. If you love cruising as much as we do, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. For the first time ever, Princess Cruises had one of their ships sailing out of the port of Galveston. It was doing Western Caribbean itineraries, and before its first season was even over, they announced that they would not be returning to that port, and Princess is pulling out of Galveston. Now, while Galveston has said that Princess can return anytime they would like to, they have already taken the proactive steps in having active meetings with another mainstream cruise line that will be taking Princess's place. I'm going to break down what I think the 4 options for this new mainstream cruise line could be, and I'm going to tell you which one I think is the obvious cruise line that will be sailing out of the port of Galveston, possibly in 2026 or 2027. First 2 are actually Carnival Corporation cruise lines, so other Carnival Corporation brands. Carnival Cruise Line has a huge presence in Galveston, so obviously Carnival does really well doing cruises in and out of the port of Galveston. One of the cruise lines that we have not seen over there, however, is Holland America. Now, something very interesting about Holland America is that they recently announced in 2026 and 2027, they will be visiting the Caribbean more than ever before. They're promising more Caribbean ports, more Caribbean sailings, and multiple ships in the Caribbean year-round. This could make a very good case for Holland America having maybe a ship at the port of Galveston. The other Carnival Corporation cruise line that has promised more Caribbean, and we're seeing way more Caribbean itineraries, specifically in 2027, is Cunard. Now, Cunard, I think, is the least likely of all of these options to go sailing out of the port of Galveston. We have sailed out of the port of Galveston twice, and in general, there just is a little bit more of a casual flair that happens over there at that port. And if you know anything about Cunard, you know that it's a lot more formal. They require jackets in their dining rooms, and it's just a little bit more European or British. I'm not saying anything about the state of Texas, but I don't know if that is the Texas style, if you know what I mean. Holland America, on the other line, could make a lot of sense sailing out of Galveston. But here's my one hang-up with Holland America. If Carnival had one premium cruise line sailing out of Galveston and it didn't work or it was a major flop, why would they swap it for another one of their premium cruise lines that, to be honest, isn't quite as popular here in North America? I think that could be said for both Holland America and Cunard, which makes me think that both of those cruise lines are not going to be taking Princess's spot over at the port of Galveston. Another cruise line that could definitely be stopping over there would be Virgin. We haven't heard anything about Virgin having a ship year-round there or having a long season in Galveston, and I could totally see Galveston welcoming an adults-only cruise line, especially like Virgin, that allows for a different cruising experience. Virgin kind of gives metropolitan vibes, and as you know, Galveston is only about 40 miles outside of Houston, which is one of the most large cities in the United States. I could see a good case being created for Virgin Voyages sailing out of Galveston, but then again, we've seen Virgin target places like Miami and now the West Coast, so I don't know if they would sacrifice one of their ships for a longer season in Galveston. The last choice is, of course, Celebrity, which Celebrity has not ever sailed out of Galveston, and it's actually something that we have gotten feedback from people that live locally close to the Galveston area that they wish they had a Celebrity ship in and out of Galveston year-round, and that they think it would do really well. I don't disagree at all. I think Celebrity Cruises would be the perfect fit to go into port as Princess is coming out for a couple of reasons. The first big one is that Royal Caribbean has invested millions of dollars into the port of Galveston, creating this giant new terminal. Jared and I actually just sailed out of this terminal for the very first time just a few weeks ago, and it's extremely impressive. Both embarkation and disembarkation were flawless. We were on the ship within 10 minutes of being dropped off by our Uber, and we were off the ship, I think, in less than 5. It was super impressive to go through that process and see what Royal Caribbean has done there to speed up the embarkation process for its cruisers. Celebrity, I could totally see pulling into the Royal Caribbean terminal and using that on the days that Royal Caribbean ships aren't there. And I just think Celebrity would be a great fit for the port of Galveston. There's one additional thing that is happening over in the Gulf that is a little bit of a rumor, but I'm going to share it with you here today. And I think that this is the biggest driver and reason why I think Celebrity Cruises is going to replace Princess over at the port of Galveston. Coming soon is going to be Perfect Day Mexico. Perfect Day Mexico is, of course, owned by Royal Caribbean, but just like we saw Perfect Day at Coco Cay, except Celebrity ships now, I think the Perfect Day over in the Gulf of Mexico will also be taking Celebrity ships. As you know, if you're sailing out of Galveston, you're doing mostly Western Caribbean itineraries, and Royal Caribbean is investing heavily over there so that they can sail to and from Perfect Day Mexico. I think Celebrity also makes total sense to have a ship over there so it could have additional ports that it could stop at that's locally owned by the corporation. Now I want to hear from you. Which of the major cruise lines do you think is sailing out of the port of Galveston in the coming years? Do you think it's going to be Holland America, Cunard, Virgin, or Celebrity? Or is there a cruise line that I totally missed? All the other major cruise lines pretty much home port there. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Carnival, they all are there pretty much year round. So what ship or cruise line am I missing? Or what cruise line would you like to see be the next major cruise line sailing out of the port of Galveston? Well, that was the video for today. Thank you so much for clicking in. Again, my name is Jordan. This is JJ Cruise. And until next time, see ya. JJ.